Drowning is the second leading cause of accidental death of children in the U.S., but change is in the water. The Make a Splash tour arrives in New Orleans today, and Olympic gold medalist Cullen Jones is here spreading the message on swim safety this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Nancy, thank you for having me.
Yeah, when we think about summertime, we think about pools and kids and fun, but I mean, let's just break down, first of all, the dangers when it comes to swimming and kids in the summer.
You know, even as an Olympian, I'm not 100% safe around the water, and it's important to have formal lessons. When it comes to the U.S. culture, we have a problem with it. 65% of African Americans don't know how to swim, 45% of Latin America, and nearly 40% of Caucasians. So it's a big problem all over the U.S.
Wow. Well, you won a gold medal, and it's very heavy here.
I did.
The 4x100 medley relay in 2012, but you weren't always a great swimmer. You almost drowned when you were 5.
5 years old, I was a spoiled little child with my parents at an amusement park, and I was fully supervised. So, I mean, there were lifeguards there, my parents were there, so a lot of times you hear stories about people fooling around and not being safe, but I was fully supervised, and I was still able to go underwater, so that's why it's important to have these formal lessons.
And you remember that feeling. What was that feeling like?
You know, I kind of go to those moments when I'm training. I'm training for 2020 now, so it's something that I don't want to see any child go through, and USA Swimming Foundation and Phillips 66 have really taken the first step towards really changing these numbers.
Well, talking about changing these numbers, you're going to 2 locations today in the New Orleans area. Talk about what's going to happen there, where you're going, and what you hope these kids will learn in this, really a clinic, so to speak.
Absolutely. We're going to the University of New Orleans and then Belle Chase YMCA, and I'm going to be giving some lessons, getting in with some of the kids. But even if we can't make it today, we have local partners all over New Orleans, and you can go to usaswimmingfoundation.org and sign up your child, and thanks to Phillips 66, you can get them at low cost, no cost lessons. So there's no reason why children shouldn't be getting these lessons.
So even though you can't go to the camps today with Mr. Jones, you will be able to, again, get the experience, and we'll have a link to that on our website.
Thank you.
As well. Getting over fear of the water, you know, for a lot of kids are afraid. How do you get over that initial fear of going under?
Well, I feel like I can relate a little bit, almost drowning myself, and it took me a while. I had a couple of teachers that tried their best, but it's all about feeling comfortable, and that's the #1 thing that I try to do when it comes to each student or each child that I'm trying to teach how to swim is just really relate to their level.
So groups of 30 kids in the area today you're helping?
2 sets of, yes.
Lastly, what does it feel to win a gold medal? What does that feel like after all that hard work and training? And
you know, it's still surreal. I can still go back to those moments, and I do every single time that I race is to have those victory moments, and as I continue to train, it's still something that I can't believe.
Awesome. Cullen Jones.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.